Fuck it. I ride. Got the top let down. Leaning to the right with the bass up loud. I slide, glide, choking on that lead.
2 miles per hour, so everybody sees.
Ride. Got the top let down. Leaning to the right with the bass up loud. I slide, glide, choking on that lead.
2 miles per hour, so everybody sees.
You see the European grills, so the lips glitz. Tank full of Theraflu, cause I be in them sick whips. Brick slip, roll with me, catch a contact. High definition popping, flipping out the armrest. See, I'm a rider, dipping in the catalog. Just got it fitted on some shit I need a ladder for. Come up in your hood stunting when I leave, dude.
2 miles per hour, so everybody sees you.
I can't deny, I feel I'm such a fly guy. Top chop, call him Sleepy Hollow when they ride by. I know the haters can't stand it. I ain't got a blemish on my Jolly Rancher can. Ride on, ride. Top let down. Weaving through the crowd with the bass up loud. Just slide, glide. On the slab when I creep. Take a bath or you put your ass on them seats.
Yeah, we gonna cook today. Old school, what's happening with it? What's happening with it, old school?
2 miles per hour, so everybody sees.
It's locked in the building, what it do? Like, Mom, what's happening with it? What it do?
Choking on that lead.
2 miles per hour.
Yeah, we definitely gonna cook. You know, I ain't been on here in a minute.
Got big lungs if you're rolling
got a
with
lot
me.
to cook
I roll
on.
quickly, roll minute, plus I'm rolling sticky. Hit the road with me, only push it to the 50.
Man, we got a lot
Cruising
to
through
cook
your
on.
city, super sharp, fresh fitted. Hey, too cold with it. Check out the interior, it's hater meeting.
Y'all
Shop
man,
for
what's happening
material.
with it?
Get it, then fuck it. Hey, roll
Yeah, we
another
definitely
blunt.
got a
Hit
lot to
patchwork,
cook
go
on.
and fuck with Nico. Take that sun's up, hit
Let's
like
get some
nunchucks.
real.
He can't stop that. A
Let's talk
Lamborghini
about what's
goes
going on.
with your
A lot of
hey,
pump
clear the
faking and
way,
bluffing.
clear the lane.
A lot of pump faking and bluffing and misinformation going on in these boxing streets. But 2025, man, it looked like 2025 might be the biggest year to come. 2025, we got a lot of expectations for this next year coming up in boxing, right around the corner. And let's see if it live up to it. You know, we starting off with a bang. David Benavidez and David Morrell, that's a super fight. David Benavidez versus David Morrell is a super fight. And win, lose, or draw, David Benavidez is setting himself apart from the rest of the competition in boxing. We got to think about what David Benavidez has done these past couple years, right? Canelo refused to fight a lot of these opponents. Canelo told them, well, won't you fight? Canelo basically told David Benavidez, won't you go fight him? Go fight such and such, and go fight Charlo, and go fight Morrell, and go fight Andrade, and go fight all. And you know what? He's done that. He's done that. Him taking this David Morrell fight just shows, man, to me, he's levels above his peers because he's willing to fight anybody y'all say he ain't willing to fight. He don't get on social media and do all that talking. He pull up and he make it happen. So any boxing fan that don't like David Benavidez, you're not a real boxing fan. You can't be a real boxing fan and don't respect and appreciate what David Benavidez has been doing. David Benavidez is different, man. It's only a handful of fighters that's in the game that's like David Benavidez. It's only a handful of fighters in today's game that's like that. And he definitely one of them ones. But this is a tough fight, man. This is a tough fight for David. It's a tough fight for Benavidez and Morrell. They both taking huge chances, getting in there, facing each other. But this is what boxing should be, right? This is what boxing should be. You shouldn't have to wait no 5 and 6 years to get some of these fights. It's crazy. When this fight was announced, I was watching the Boxing Voice, shout out to them. I was watching the Boxing Voice, and they got their call-in show in the morning, right? And it tripped me out that I heard some callers calling in complaining about the David Benavidez and David Morrell fight, talking about it's happening too early. We should let the fight marinate until they both get bigger names, and that's the shit that's wrong with boxing. That's the shit that's wrong with boxing. I'm glad we getting that fight, man. That's a tough ass fight. Courtney, what's good with it? What's good with it, fam? So that's a fight I would love to attend, man. That's a fight that I think they saying that Gary Antoine Russell and Jose and Rayo gonna fight each other on that card. Now I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't believe that. Like, until they say that fight is signed and sealed, I don't believe that, man. I can't see Rayo taking the fight against Gary Antoine Russell, his first fight with the strap. Like, that right there is real hard for me to believe. But if they do put that fight on the card, like, you could just have them two fights by themselves, and I'm satisfied with that. But David Morrell and David Benavidez, man, that shit's big. And those are the type of fights, right? Because it's been happening these couple years, right? We'll get a fight like that. David Benavidez been in a couple of them, right? You got to think of David Benavidez and Andrade, right? David Benavidez and Caleb Plant. So this is what's wrong with a lot of you motherfuckers portraying as real boxing fans, right? You'll get a fight like that, and then immediately, once it happens, run to the internet and be like, the fight didn't sell out. It flopped, and that's weird. You know what I'm saying? If we getting fights like that, man, support the fight. Don't get on the internet like a dickhead and run around and, posting shit that the fight flopped and all of that, man. We got to support the fights like this that we get, so we'll get more of them. So these promoters will stop acting like bitches and actually put fights on like this, often. Yeah, Anthony Johnson. I got David Benavidez over everybody. For real. Rest in peace to Coach, man. I miss him, for real. Yeah, so David Benavidez, man, he could have fought. He could have fought somebody else. He could have took an easy touch, like most of these fighters be doing when they get to that level and they undefeated, and everybody is saying that they're a monster, because a lot of these fighters, man, us as fans, we hype them up and we put them on a pedestal before we really get to see them really, prove it. We hype them up, and then once they get on that pedestal, they're afraid to take them chances and really put it on the line. You know what I'm saying? They be scared to put it on the line. And like I said before, man, a lot of these fighters, they be scared of us doing these lives and, doing these YouTubes and shit. And it's negative. You know what I'm saying? They lose. We get on there talking about they need to retire. They got to expose. Then they got to deal with all the comments on social media. So they choose to skip around the tough competition, right? They choose to skip around all the tough competition and play the fans, right? Because they know a lot of these fighters, they getting these accolades without proving themselves, and that's just a fact. So, man, like I said, man, we gotta we got to salute fighters like David Benavidez and David Morrell, both of them, and especially David Benavidez, because y'all was talking for a long time. For a long time, a lot of y'all was talking about David Benavidez ain't really like that. He ain't fighting nobody. He ain't doing this and he ain't doing that. But the whole time he was being ducked. You know what I'm saying? He was being ducked for a long time. And finally, when, you know, these fighters stepped up to the plate and decided that they was going to fight him, shout out to Caleb Plant, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he was the first one that did it. And then, Boo Boo Andrade, he came after that, right? Then Andrade stepped up, right? And I think Andrade really thought that he could beat David Benavidez, because he said, okay, well, Caleb Plant boxed good for him for like the first 5 rounds. I can beat him. He thought. But it's crazy, man, because salute to Boo Boo Andrade, because I heard him recently. I can't remember what platform it was on, but he was talking about, when he fought David Benavidez, and he said, man, I knew I was in trouble when I hit him with my hardest shots, and the motherfucker just looked at me and just kept coming. He said, man, this dude was a real monster. He said, I hit him with my best shit, and he just looked at me and like laughed. He said, I already knew it was going to be a long night after that. And we know how the outcome of that fight, took place. Yeah, Cool Jay. You see, and you're right? Exactly. And I was going to get to that too. I'm glad you said it, right? People was out there talking about Benavidez was ducking Morrell for the longest time, right? Y'all was screaming that shit. Now, what you don't see is none of y'all that was screaming that David Benavidez was ducking Morrell, that David Benavidez would get the shit beat out of him against Morrell. Where are y'all at now? Ain't nobody screaming that no more. Ain't nobody came and said, okay, I was wrong. And the funny thing is, a lot of y'all that was screaming that shit and screaming that David Benavidez is afraid of Morrell, now y'all switched up, talking about, oh yeah, David Morrell ain't even ready. David Benavidez taking this fight too early. And now you don't want to give him credit for taking the fight against David Morrell. But I see y'all, what's happening with it? He say Andrade said he knew after the uppercut, after he uppercutted him and he smiled. Yeah, for real, man. Yeah, like, dude, a real monster, man. So y'all smash my like button. You know what I'm saying? Do me that favor, smash the like button, because this gonna be a hell of a show. I'm a cook. I'm gonna bring some. I'm gonna drop the link too. So if y'all want to come up here and cook, I'm gonna drop some links. And we're gonna have a show, man. We're gonna have a show. So, like I said, smash the like button for me. It's free. It don't cost y'all nothing. Do me that favor, and we're gonna carry out a hell of a show tonight, because like I said, we got a lot to cook on. Matter of fact, I'm gonna drop the link early. Today. Hold on. Let me drop this link, and then we're gonna cook. And while I'm dropping this link, like I said, smash the like button. If you ain't hit the like button yet, smash on that like button for me. Rachel Donaire, salute. But yeah, like I said, man, when we get fights like David Benavidez and David Morrell coming together, making it happen, not making the shit marinate, we need to support this fight. Everybody should. If you can't go to the fight, buy the pay-per-view. Telling y'all, man, for the ones who cry about us not getting the fights, we got to support these fights like this. And I'm going to continue to say that. Don't fire stick this shit for real. If you got to come together and get a couple of your homeboys together to throw in to support this fight. Support this fight. This is a big fight. And a lot of hold on real quick. So I just pinned the link in the chat. So if anybody want to come on and cook, feel free to come on and cook. But yeah, support the fight. And I see a lot of promotional banging, like, oh, I'm PBC or I'm Top Rank or I'm DAZN, man. Let's get rid of all that BS too in boxing. Let's get rid of all that bullshit. If it's a good card, a good event, it don't matter what promotional company is putting it on. It shouldn't matter. Jay Hizzy, what's happening with it? He said, hope you're doing well, bro. Happy holidays, man. Same to you, man. I appreciate you coming through, showing love and supporting the channel. But yeah, the link is in the chat. If anybody want to come and cook on these topics that we about to cook on, just let me know. Hop in, feel free. Yeah, so David Morrell, David Benavidez, man, that's a big one. Another thing I want to cook on, man. I want to cook on this Claressa Shields, Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor, Cameron, he involved in it now. Chris Cyborg, she hate Claressa Shields, like she hate her to the core. But let's talk about this, man. Let's talk about this because hell of a fight between Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. I mean, to me, that was the highlight of the whole Mike Tyson, Jake Paul card. That was a hell of a fight. Salute to Mario Barrios and what's his name, man? Abel Ramos. They put on a hell of a fight. But Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor, that was the best fight on the card to me, right? Amanda Serrano, I thought she won the fight. I thought she should have got the nod, but it is what it is, right? She fought her ass off. I believe she got paid like $7 million. I know that Katie Taylor got $6 million and Amanda Serrano got paid more than she did. So I love to see that for women's boxing, and they put on, right? They didn't leave nothing in the ring, right? They both put on and they fought their asses off. Real talk. So we got to respect that. And my man, Bruce Gas, what's happening with it? And y'all go sub to Bruce Gas. Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more. One of the realest to do this. Real talk. And he's a boxing historian too. My man, Legacy. Salute. But let's keep it a buck, right? Unless you were a diehard boxing fan. I'm talking about one of us, right? And there wasn't many diehard boxing fans that was really, really talking about Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. But let's keep it a buck. Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor are not the reason that 60 million people watched that card. 60 million people did not tune in to watch Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. They didn't. Them people tuned in because Mike Tyson's name was on the card. And he was fighting Jake Paul. That was Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. Most of them people had no idea who Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor were. If you had to put Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor on that headline without a Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, that fight probably wouldn't have done 1 million views. It might have would have done 1 million, but it damn sure wouldn't have done no close to 60 million views. So when Claressa Shields comes out, right, and corrects Cameron, because what you got, you got dudes like Cameron, they got a podcast, right? They don't really know shit about boxing. All they do is go with the popular opinion. They listen to what everybody else is saying, and then they go on their platform and regurgitate what everybody else is saying. So they went on their platform and they started talking about how Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano broke all records for women because they had 60 million people tune in to watch them fight. Claressa Shields messages Cameron and tells him that's incorrect. Actually, me and Savannah Marshall was the highest viewed women's boxing event ever. We did over 2 million. We did over 2 million, which is a fact. They did the card by themselves. They were the headline. It was no men on that card at all. It was an all-women's card, and they did that. They did that without a Mike Tyson or a Jake Paul. So when she says that, it ain't hating. She's telling the truth. How is it hating if she's telling the truth? At the same time, she was all on X and social media giving Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor props. Now, because she said that, everybody's saying that she's hating and she's jealous and she's capping and this and that. How is it hating if that is the absolute truth? Ain't nobody tell me that Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano would have done 60 million views without Mike Tyson and Jake Paul headlining it. So I see a lot of people saying, well, they were the co-main event and people didn't turn it off. They watched it. They didn't turn it off. Well, if you're watching the card and you know Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fighting next, why would you turn it off? It ain't like it's Sunday and you watching football. Ain't nothing else on the TV. Ain't shit else on the TV. So if you know Mike Tyson and Jake Paul is the main event, what the hell do I look like turning the co-main event off for? For what? Of course they didn't turn it off. And like I said, shout out to the women for putting on, because it was a hell of a fight. They fought their asses off. They left everything in that ring. But we can't sit up here and lie and give them credit for something that they didn't do. Because the last time I checked, Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, they fought before. Am I wrong? They fought before. And the numbers that Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano did on the card that they headlined did not do the numbers that Claressa Shields and Savannah Marshall did on the card that they headlined. The facts is the facts. Now, I know it's cool to go around and slander Claressa Shields because she's outspoken and she a black woman and people don't like that shit. Let's just keep it a buck. People don't like her. The narrative because, you know, maybe people feel that Amanda and Katie Taylor are more likable, right? They feel that Amanda Serrano's more likable. So you want to run with that narrative, but that narrative ain't the truth. Forever says that was like watching the previews in the movie theater. Yeah, like you're not gonna leave out. Like, come on, man. It's crazy, man. Like, I mean, that's like people saying that Tank Davis, when he fought, who the hell did he fight on the undercard of Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor, right? We know that Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor, they did the second most highest pay-per-view, right, ever in boxing history. Well, are we gonna give that to Gervonta Davis and Francesca, whatever the hell his name was, because he was the co-main event? So now are we gonna say that Gervonta Davis has the second highest pay-per-view ever because he was the co-main event under Floyd Mayweather? Ain't nobody said that shit. Ain't nobody never said nothing like that. So why are we saying it for Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano? Just make the shit make sense to me. And as far as Chris Cyborg, hell of an MMA fighter, right? Hell of an MMA fighter. She trolls Claressa Shields every day online, right? And she's trying to tell Claressa Shields to drop down to like 147 and fight her in boxing. You've never done shit in boxing. Claressa Shields don't have to answer and drop down to the weight class that you want her to drop. First of all, Chris Cyborg is trash in boxing. She's not good in the boxing ring. She's great in the octagon, but she's trash in the boxing ring. So that ain't even a competitive fight. And now she's telling Claressa Shields to fight her in MMA and calling her out in MMA. If you Claressa Shields, you have to be a complete dummy to get in the octagon with Chris Cyborg. It don't make no fucking sense. So it's a lot of clout chasing that be going on in the sport of boxing, women and men's boxing, and everybody goes to X and get to capping and clouting. Yeah, but it's ridiculous. So yeah, I mean, if anybody want to chime in on that, like I said, I got the link in the chat. The link is pinned in the chat. And we could cook on it. If anybody, want to chime in on that, if you agree or disagree, we could cook on it for real. Taylor says, what's my take on Hitchens and Parro? Hell of a fight. Another dangerous fight. Salute to both of them for taking the fight against each other. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going, oh man, that's a tough fight. Y'all give me a second real quick. Give me a quick second. Yeah, but so Hitchens and Parro, that's a tough ass fight. I'm gonna go with Hitchens. Because he talking that good talk, man. I seen him on Cigar Talk. What was it, last night or the night before? He was on Cigar Talk. I watched it, and I rock with Africa. I rock with Africa, so I'm gonna rock with him. But Liam Parro is a tough fight. But one thing I don't like is Hitchens is trying to downplay Liam Parro like he ain't really like that. You know what I'm saying? He like, man, ain't no way this dude can compete with me. He's like, he ain't even that really good. He was like, Parro ain't one of them ones like that. He was like, he ain't really as good as y'all think he is. He just had a good strategy and game plan against against Matias, right? I don't know. I really didn't like that. It kind of came off as that he was kind of like overlooking him, like, man, he too easy for me type shit. But I think that he needs to really, really be looking at this as the toughest fight of his career. Go in to the fight with that type of mindset, even if it's not going to be. You still got to go in there with that type of mindset instead of downplaying the fight and, you know, kind of saying that it ain't really going to be a tough fight at all, and he ain't really one of them ones like that, and he don't view Parro as one of the top 140 pounders, and you know he just kind of downplaying him. That's the only thing I didn't like. But Richardson Hitchens, man, he could box his ass off. Got one of the best jabs in boxing, so I think that it's gonna be a tough fight. I think it's gonna be a close fight, man, because Parro can fight. Parro, he can crack, and he can box. So Parro ain't no pushover. This is gonna be a close fight, and I got Hitchenson winning a close decision. But I fuck with Africa, right? Because Africa keep it real. Africa keep it real, and you know, of course, he was asked about Keyshawn Davis, and Keyshawn Davis been talking a lot of shit about Africa, and Africa kept it real. He said, man, Keyshawn is a hell of a fighter. He said, me and Keyshawn will be a hell of a fight. He said, of course, I got myself winning, which he's supposed to say that. If he had said anything different than that, I would have been looking at him funny, right? But he kept it real. He said, man, Keyshawn is one of them ones. He a hell of a fighter. And so he gave him props when he didn't have to. And to me, that shows the character of a real one. Because some of these fighters, man, they hate to give anybody props that they might go up against. And y'all know who them fighters is. I ain't got to say no names. But yeah, man, I like that. And he also cleared some shit up, right? That a lot of y'all was running around. Blunt Sports, what's happening with it? Salute. He also cleared some shit up that a lot of y'all was running around with hee ha ha and giggling just because lying ass Kenny Ellis. Kenny Ellis is one lying ass nigga, right? That all he do is lie. I don't care how y'all feel about it. If you get mad, bite blood out your bottom lip. Because Kenny Ellis is one lying, trolling ass dude, right? He too old to be doing all that lying and trolling that he be doing, right? And he be saying shit that Tank don't even back up. Tank ain't all that lying ass shit that Kenny Ellis be saying, and y'all run with that shit and believe it. Tank don't back none of that shit. He ain't came and back none of that shit up. Kenny just be running his mouth. And to me, like I said, man, to be as old as Kenny is and to be just telling blatant lies like he do, something got to be wrong with you, man. And just because it's Tank Davis's coach and y'all rock with Tank, that don't mean the nigga don't lie. Just because you like somebody don't mean that they don't be telling lies. Shit, y'all niggas got homeboys that every time he tell a story, you looking to the side like, here go this nigga lying again. Come on, man. Let's keep it real. Y'all get on here, right? And y'all be praising these fighters and these trainers because you like the fighter and then act like they don't do no wrong. But y'all got homies that y'all know for your whole life. And when they get to lying, you'll tell one of your other partners, man, here this nigga lying again. Here he go lying again. That's Kenny. He one of them niggas. He come around the block. He like, here he go lying again. So with that being said, right, Richardson Hitchens, him and Shakur ain't cool no more. They don't F with each other no more. So he could have got on there. He could have slandered Shakur. right? Because we know Kenny talking about, oh man, Tank hurt Shakur, knocked his tooth out of his mouth and all of that, right? Well, Africa was in the gym. And he seen the sparring because Africa tight with Tank. I guess they ain't talking right now, but he close with Tank. And he was close with Shakur. So he talked about the sparring. And he says that they was going at it. He said, man, that shit was back and forth. He said Tank caught Shakur with a clean shot. He said he caught Shakur with a clean shot. He said he did not hurt Shakur at all. Right? He said he ain't hurt Shakur. He said he was thinking in his head, like, damn, if them had been 8-ounce gloves, I don't know how many of them shots Shakur could have took if they was 8-ounce gloves. He said he didn't hurt Shakur. He said Shakur, after Shakur got caught with the shot, he said he took his shirt off and he said him and Tank started banging it out. They start going at it. And he said it was just like head-to-head, competitive, you know what I'm saying, smoke. They was giving each other smoke. Then he says, when they sparred again, he says Tank didn't come at Shakur like he came at him the first time because he respected him. He said the first time Tank tried to come out there and rush Shakur, try to just, bully him, but that shit didn't work. He said, so the next time he said Tank came with a whole different game plan, boxing. He said he came with a different game plan trying to box because that shit didn't work the first time. And he says that it was a chess match. Said it was a chess match. And it was good work with both of them. He said ain't nobody get hurt. Nobody got nothing knocked out. None of that shit. So, man, y'all need to stop running with them lies. And Shakur told y'all the same shit. He said, man, every time me and Tank sparred, it was good ass work. Like, he ain't never hurt me. That's what Shakur said. Shakur ain't never said he ain't never caught me with a clean shot. He said if he caught me with something clean, he ain't never hurt me. So, man, but see, this is the thing, right? Now that y'all got the truth from somebody that was in the gym, right? That don't have no ties to neither one of these fighters, is telling you from a third eye that was there that don't have no ties to neither one of these fighters. Y'all ain't gonna go run with that story. Y'all ain't gonna go get on social media and troll with that shit. Now you either gonna do one or two things. You either gonna say that Richardson Hitchens is capping, right? You either gonna run around and say Hitchens is capping, or you just gonna flat out ignore the shit and act like it never was said. Yeah, man. So it's crazy. But yeah, man. So it's go run with that story. But yeah, moving along. Y'all smash the like button. Like I said, if you wanna jump on and cook, I got the link pinned in the chat. The link is pinned in the chat. So if you want to cook on anything I'm talking about, if you got a disagreement, if you got something, the link is pinned in the chat. But moving along, man. Let's talk about this Williams Zepeda, Floyd Schofield, Shakur Stevenson shit. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Hold on. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah. We're gonna move along. Let's talk about this, right? Let's get into the main topic. Peter Macho keeps. Okay, hold on, man. Get this weirdo up out of here. Okay, so JG says if Tank wanted to fight Shakur, it would have happened, or it's going down now, but he a phony. Well, this is the thing, man. 2025 is either I told y'all before. It's the shit. It's the shit or get off the pot year. If that fight don't happen in 2025, it ain't happening. If Tank don't call out Shakur in 2025, he ain't never fighting him. So I ain't gonna jump the gun. But like I said, we gonna find out. We gonna find out in 2025 if they gonna fight or not, right? And I'm gonna be on both of them helmet. I don't want Shakur to be quiet about the shit, and and when 2025 come, I'm telling y'all right now, when 2025 come and Shakur get a fight in and Tank get his fight in, if both of them ain't screaming each other's names, I'm on both of their helmet. Because at that point in time, Shakur should be calling out Tank and on his helmet, and Tank should be calling out Shakur and telling him, hey, you on the list and now you up. Straight up and down. Straight up and down. So that's how I feel about that shit. That's how I feel about that. Both of them should be equally going at each other in 2025 once they get done with both of their fights. Who we don't know who Shakur gonna fight now because that's a problem, right? We don't know exactly when Tank gonna fight. That's a problem. But we know they both gonna fight in 2025, and we know after that they're gonna be free and available to fight each other. And Shakur already cleared it up. It don't mean nothing that he with Matchroom because he has in his contract agreement with Eddie Hearn that if Gervonta Davis is available, he can make that happen. And he made that clear in the interview that he did not too long ago. So all of that shit that motherfuckers like Terrence Cole is talking about over here lying and shit. The first time he typed in my chat, he come in here with some cap talking about Shakur told his promoter not to go after the Tank fight. No, he told his promoter that because he know that Tank don't rock, that Tank don't mess with Eddie Hearn. So he told him in the means of basically don't even get in the way of that shit, right? But he also came out and he made it clear that it's already an agreement that he can't stop nothing. Eddie Hearn can't stop him from getting that Tank fight. They have that in it, but you're not gonna say that, right? You'll talk about one side, but you ain't gonna talk about what else he said too. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna talk about what else he said. So let's not start. So Tank Davis fans, let's not start making excuses already, right? Let's not start making the excuses. Oh man, Shakur, he signed with Eddie Hearn and it. No. We're not finna do that. Bitch ass nigga, because you ain't never heard it, don't mean you ain't say it. How the fuck you gonna say I'm capping and then come and say I never heard that? Bitch ass nigga, just say you never heard it. Don't say I'm capping. Just say, well, I never heard him say that. Fuck that. That don't even make sense. Well, you capping. I never heard it. Just because your dumb ass ain't never heard it, that don't mean you ain't say it. The shit don't even make sense what you said put together. You know what I'm saying? But keep watching it. Keep your stupid ass in the background and keep watching. But anyway, man, carrying on. So we not finna make that excuse. Start making that excuse because see, a lot of y'all want to way out, right? A lot of y'all want to way out and you want to make that excuse and all of that shit. And we not finna do that. We not finna do that. But like I said, man, if you want to link, right? If any of y'all want a link and you want some smoke, stop typing and hiding behind a motherfucking avatar. Get your weird ass up here and click the link and get on camera. That's what exactly. Get your weird ass up here and click the link and get on camera. Cause a lot of y'all motherfuckers like to, you like to hide behind avatars and meat mush in the comments and all of that shit. The link is pinned in the chat. The link is pinned in the chat. You ain't gotta hide in the comments. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta hide in the comments and type. The link is pinned in the chat. That's some soft ass shit. Talking big shit and hiding in the comments. Cause I'm gonna make a bitch ass nigga like you bite blood out your bottom lip. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make a bitch ass nigga like you stay in the comments, type until your motherfucking fingers turn blue and red and bite blood out your bottom lip. Anti-Lob said, what? Salute to my dude, man. I appreciate you. Say, keep cooking, bro. He said, I'm begging for money and gossiping. So if I'm begging for money and gossiping, why is you in here watching me beg for money and gossiping? If I'm begging for money and gossiping, why is you in here watching me begging for money and gossiping? And if I'm in my mama's basement screaming, why the fuck is you watching a grown ass man in his mama's basement screaming? Tell me that. What type of motherfucking dummy is you to watch a man that you say is in here begging for money, right? Begging for money, and what do you say? Begging for money in his mama's basement screaming. What the fuck that make you? If you like to watch grown ass men on the internet that beg for money and that be in their mama's basement screaming, what the fuck is you, dog? That must make you even beneath me. If I'm in my mama's basement begging for money and screaming, what the fuck does that make you? If that's what you believe, I'm glad you believe that. Because that showed me how much of a fucking clown you is for watching me. How about that? I'm definitely not finna. Yeah, you motherfuckers is weird. But anyway, man, I like fucking with y'all goofy ass dudes because, man, y'all the type of dudes that was, you know what I'm saying? Y'all was rejects. Y'all rejects in real life. You've been, you know what I'm saying? You was nerds in school. Didn't nobody fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? You've been a reject your whole life, and you come on the internet, and you could be whoever you want to be on this internet. Because don't nobody fuck with you. Don't nobody know you. You know what I'm saying? You could be whoever you want to be behind an avatar on the internet. But for the rest of y'all, man, smash on the like button. Smash on the like button. And then I got a dude in here right now. This motherfucker done made like 8 accounts since I've been in here. This what type of weirdos be on the internet. This motherfucking dude has made like 8 different accounts since I've been on this show. I ain't even been on here. I've been on here about what? A little over a half an hour. He done made about 8 different accounts. I didn't block 8 accounts, and he keep on making this motherfucker keep on going to his Google, doing all of that extra work to make a different account to come in my chat. Now that's some weird shit. But anyway, dudes is weirdos, man. And a motherfucker like a motherfucker like these weird dudes, they'll never click a link and get on camera. They ain't never been to no boxing event because they scared. They just go around meat mushing and trolling. That's all they do. Meat mushing and trolling. But let's carry on. So let's talk about this whole situation with Zepeda. I'm gonna make you. So I gave you ample. I gave you more than enough time to click the link. I gave you more than enough time to click the link, right? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna make you have to make another account, right? I'm gonna make you have, because see, I didn't just block you. I gave you more than enough time to troll and get your and get your weirdo shit off, right? Now, make another account. There you go. Now make another account. Now watch from the background or make another account. Or get your boyfriend phone. You might want to get your boyfriend's phone and he might let you, he might let you do something on his account. That's 10 different accounts this other clown done made. I'm counting. This other clown done made 10 different accounts now. Rod, salute, man. Salute to you. But anyway, man, hey, I ain't know it was that serious to have to make 10 different accounts just to type in, just to troll. Like, you gotta be miserable in real life to make that many accounts just to just go back and forth and troll. That shit's beyond weird. But anyway, let's talk about this whole shit with William Zepeda and Shakur Stevenson. Let's talk about this whole shit with William Zepeda and Shakur Stevenson, because William Zepeda has once again ducked Shakur Stevenson. I don't believe at all that William Zepeda is injured. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm not one of these dudes that if I see a fighter injured that I just think is fake and you can't get injured, because I know that, you can get injured in training, you can get injured in the ring. Injuries happen in sports, just sports all the time, especially boxing, right? Injury gonna happen. Injuries gonna happen in the sport all the time, right? That's just what it is. But I don't believe William Zepeda got shit wrong with him. And the reason I don't believe that William Zepeda has shit wrong with him is, for one, he ducked Shakur Stevenson on multiple occasions before, right? For two, his coach, right? I heard his coach Panda say out of his own mouth that Shakur Stevenson is one of the best fighters that he's ever seen or worked with, right? This is William Zepeda's coach. He says that he's going to keep it real. He doesn't feel that William Zepeda can beat Shakur Stevenson if it goes to decision. He says, I'm going to keep it real. He says, I'm going to be truthful. The only way I see my fighter, William Zepeda, beating Shakur is by knockout. If he can't knock him out, I don't think we can beat him. That's another reason. Why I don't believe he's injured, right? Another reason I don't believe he's injured is because this is months ago, right? His coach also said that they went to Oscar De La Hoya in Golden Boy before. And they said, is Shakur Stevenson on the menu? And Oscar and his people told him straight up, no. We're not messing with Shakur. No, right? I'm gonna give y'all another reason I don't believe he's injured, right? When him and Shakur were supposed to fight again, he told he pulled out, right? He pulled out of negotiations and said that he wasn't going to take another fight for the year 2025 because his wife was having a baby and he wanted to take the rest of the year to spend with his family, right? It only took weeks later to find out that him and Tevin Farmer was fighting. That's another reason. Another reason I don't believe shit is wrong with him is because when they did his post-fight interview, well, another reason is because we all seen how he looked against Tevin Farmer, right? He barely got the W against Tevin Farmer. And no disrespect to Farmer, because I rock with Tevin. I rock with Tevin heavy. But Tevin ain't on Shakur's level. Zepeda know that. Oscar De La Hoya know that. And anybody that know boxing know that, right? He ain't on Shakur level. And when he gets on the microphone and they ask him, is the Shakur Stevenson fight next? In front of the whole world, he gets the backtracking, talking about the options. They got a lot of options on the table, and they'll see what deal, they'll see what deal is put on the table for Shakur Stevenson. When the whole time we was hearing that the date and everything was already basically a go. Everything was pretty much a go. All they had to do is wait for Zepeda to beat Tevin Farmer. He wasn't saying that shit after he beat Tevin Farmer. The next day after they beat Tevin Farmer, him and his team was coming out talking about, oh, well, we have a lot of different options. We got a lot of different options. So now all of a sudden, the February 22nd is no longer a go. So how did you wait? Hold on. Now let's backtrack. When you was in the ring on the microphone, you didn't have no injury then, right? You didn't have, nothing was wrong with your hand when you was in the ring on the microphone, right? The next day, when y'all was, you and your team was, boxing voice, and everybody was getting, a confirmation from your team to make sure that the Shakur Stevenson fight was next. Y'all was running around talking about you got a bunch of different options, right? Nothing about, well, we suffered a hand injury, so we're going to have to take some time off. Nothing about no hand injury, none of that shit, right? It was just, well, we'll see. We got a lot of different options on the table. My man, put your camera on real quick in the background so I can make sure. Is okay. Bet. Okay.
Yo.
So, yeah, I hear you. What's good?
Ain't nothing, chilling.
So, man, I'm just exposing this bullshit, right? The next day, the next week, after he fought Tevin Farmer, right? They was running around talking about, well, we gonna see. We got a lot of different options on the table. Nothing about a hand injury, right? Now, when Turkey Al-Sheikh, when shit start getting real, and we know how Turkey is, right? He aggressive with the fights that he won. When shit start getting real, and William Zepeda back is up against the wall because they want to start, putting this February 22nd card together, so they could start announcing the card, right? Giving fans, enough time to, know what's going down. Your back is up against the wall. They want to know, is you fighting Shakur or what? Now, all of a sudden, you got a hand injury.
Yo, all this Shakur ain't never fought nobody narrative got to stop, homie.
Yeah. And I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you cook in a minute. I'm gonna let you cook on this in a minute, right? So now all of a sudden it's a hand injury, right? Now, the coincidence is we all know that Shakur had a legitimate hand injury. Yeah, you got some clowns that are trying to, oh man, Shakur. I heard a motherfucker say, I ain't gonna say his name. I heard somebody say that Shakur faked his hand injury because he was afraid to fight Joe Cordina.
Right.
So he set up the video, fell out on the ground. He had all that set up because the motherfuckers say dumb shit, right, all the time, right? But we know that Shakur been having hand problems, right? He been having a hand injury, right? So what's the best thing for William Zepeda to do? Come out and say he got a hand injury, because now it's like, okay, well, we can't say that Zepeda don't got a hand injury because Shakur had a hand injury. Man, I see this shit from a mile away.
Exactly.
I see this shit from a mile away. Zepeda, and what really put the stamp on it is that Oscar De La Hoya, Zepeda, his coach, and his whole team, seeing how he struggled against Tevin Farmer. If he had went out there and blew out Tevin Farmer, right? It made Tevin Farmer look like some shit, right? Blew through Tevin Farmer like he had been doing these other fighters. We might have would have got the fight then. They might have been confident enough to put him in that fight. But now we saw what we saw. They like, nah, we ain't finna do that. We not finna put him in there because they was trying to build Williams Zepeda and some boogeyman. Remember, they trying to build him as being a guy that can beat Shakur, can beat Tank, and you know, they was trying to build him up as a boogeyman when honestly, motherfucker hadn't fought nobody. And now we see that he's, you know, just like they doing with Floyd Schofield, and we're gonna get on his helmet in a minute because I'm gonna get on him and his daddy in a minute. But that's all that shit was. But my man Rue, what's happening with it?
Man, you know, I just wanted to send a little message out to all the haters, man. You know, I sent a little super chat for all the haters that push the nigga was talking about, oh, you begging for money, man. This is what this is about. This is a business. You don't come into somebody's place of business and troll their business, man. If you got an issue with somebody, you pussy niggas need to make y'all own page. You hear me? As far as Tank Davis, man, this man in the Terrence Crawford and the Canelo and the Boo Boo Club, man. He in the dirty 30s. These young niggas trying to fight. Now all of a sudden it's okay for Shakur to fight Schofield when y'all was looking for a fight for the man to fight at 135. And now all of a sudden it's a fight way in March and y'all don't want to switch the goddamn fighter from Lamont Roach to anybody else. And I forgot, Edwin De Los Santos is still hurt.
Well, Edwin De Los Santos and his team say they ain't hurt. They say ain't nothing wrong with him. He said they was ready to take the Tank fight. They actually said they got offered the Gervonta fight, and they never heard nothing back from Gervonta. They accepted. He said Gervonta's team hit him up and said, "Would you like to fight Tank?" They said this is what Edwin De Los Santos manager said. He said they agreed.
He hurt. He hurt.
Well,
Fuck that. He gonna be hurt till 2027.
Nah, where you getting that from?
Yeah, he got slow healing powers, homie. That's why they ain't calling him back.
No, I'm asking where you getting that from.
I'm being sarcastic, homie. They should call Edwin De Los Santos, but they ain't finna do that.
Okay. I didn't catch that. My bad. Yeah, because his coach was like, shit. His coach was like, ain't nothing wrong with us. He ain't injured. He ready to go, 100% ready to go. Ain't nothing wrong with him.
And if it ain't nothing wrong with him, why is everybody concerned about these boxers' health? Tank gonna knock everybody else out anyway, so it don't matter, nigga. He gonna knock him out if he healthy or not.
I mean, that's what they say. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I like your show, man. I just wanted to come on and put my game on there and let you know I be watching you. We don't do no sneak watching over here.
I'll be seeing you, Rude, man. I appreciate the support for the channel for sure.
Yeah, and that interview that you did with Shakur Stevenson and Knockout Boxing 86 TV, that was the interview of the mother-loving year. And I think that's the main reason that man don't like that boy, because he tortured his soul on that video and said, how do you think you God to tell me how ain't nobody gonna knock me out? And I want to see what's going on in the boxing world. How to survive 2025. These boys can't duck too much longer.
Yeah, man, this shit'll get off the pot. Real talk.
Hey, peace out, G.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate you.
One.
Fred, what's happening with it, Fred? Nah, you ain't no troll. I already know you're not a troll, Fred. But so with all that being said, and we're gonna get into Edwin De Los Santos and Shakur. We're gonna get into all of that, right? I don't leave nothing off the table. We gonna cover everything, right? Because I'm a boxing fan. I ain't no meat musher or no fighter. I'm a boxing fan. We're gonna cover all this shit. So with that being said, William Zepeda, he's a duck, right? He don't believe, his team don't believe they can beat Shakur. But eventually, William Zepeda gonna have to step in the ring with one of these dogs at 135, and when he do, he's going to get beat and exposed again. Because see, what Oscar De La Hoya like to do is he like to keep these fighters that he trying to build up and make you think that he like to use their names with other fighters, right, that have a big name. He like to put their names with these other fighters out there that's really like that. Maybe a Tank or Shakur or Keyshawn or whoever it may be. And he like to pump, fake, and bluff and make you believe, oh, we want that fight. Oh, yeah, we want to make the best fights. That's that. I mean, Al Heyman, he doesn't want it. We want to make the best fights. That's what we're here for. He want to make you believe that shit. But like I continue to tell y'all, behind the scenes, it's a whole different story. Just like Floyd Schofield and his daddy. They capping. It's a lot of y'all on the internet believing that shit. It's a lot of y'all on the internet believing that Floyd Schofield and his daddy really want to fight Shakur. Come on, man. You use common sense. That's why he's posting fake DMs showing like, oh, we messaged Oscar and we asking Oscar for the fight. Bruh, first of all, that shit is fake. Do y'all have any common sense? And I'm talking to the ones that believe that shit. Because some of y'all really be believing that shit. First of all, Oscar De La Hoya is his promoter. They have direct contact with Oscar De La Hoya. If they really wanted to fight with Shakur, they're not about to be DMing their promoter that they talk to on a regular basis for a fight. They're going to pick up the phone and call Oscar and say, look, this is the fight that we want next. You know, we really want Shakur Stevenson next, and it's going to happen on a phone conversation, a meeting. They're not finna DM. He ain't finna DM Oscar. All that shit is for publicity and to show the internet, because they understand how this internet shit work. People gonna look at it and be like, man, we respect Floyd, man. Floyd really want that smoke with Shakur. Man, all of this shit is fake. It's for the internet. That's why he's showing fake DMs and then posting it on the internet. Like, come on, man. Like he's gonna tell Oscar De La Hoya. Like, it's funny for those who haven't seen it. Floyd Schofield's pops posted a fake DM that he supposedly sent Oscar and said, oh yeah, we hurt Shakur Stevenson really bad, Oscar, when we sparred. We hurt him really bad, and we know we can knock him out. That's the fight that we want next, so give us that. Man, stop fucking capping for the internet. First of all, Shakur got them on live and made them admit that they was capping. Made Floyd Schofield and his daddy admit that I think Shakur dropped the nigga with a body shot. Made him admit the shit when he pulled up on him. And they was just sitting there when Shakur pulled up on him on the live stream. I think it was Greg Hackett's shit, right? They sitting there and Shakur checked all of that shit. They ain't had none of that shit to say. Oh, they was on some, well, we know you're a great fighter. Yeah, well, and they sitting up there smiling like, damn, you caught us in the lie. We didn't think you was going to pull up on us like that. So all that shit's a lie. For those newsflash, for those who believe in this shit, Floyd Schofield is, I guess you could still call him a prospect, right? But he ain't even that good of a prospect. Oh, okay. It was Cigar Talk. My bad. It was on Najee shit, Cigar Talk, right? Floyd Schofield is still a prospect. I would call him, to me, he's not that good of a prospect, right? He's not that good of a prospect. He's still struggling with, C- level competition. Struggling with, we seen his last fight. I didn't see other fights with him, that happened down, earlier that he struggled. And ain't no way that a promoter Like Oscar De La Hoya, we've seen Oscar's track record. We've seen how he builds his fighters. He doesn't build his fighters by letting them get in the ring with killers and just, like, oh, well, whatever happened, gonna happen. He don't build his fighters up. Floyd Schofield is a fighter that is signed to him that he's trying to build up to maybe be a big attraction down the line. I don't think it'll never happen because he's just not that good of a fighter to me. And I've been saying this for years now, right? But he's not going to put Floyd Schofield, being his promoter, in that type of a fight. Floyd Schofield's father is not going to put his son in that type of fire, knowing that his son ain't nowhere near ready for that type of smoke. And Floyd Schofield himself know that he's not on that level. So with all that being said, they know this. But they also know that they need to keep their name amongst the best fighters in their division, right? To keep their name growing. They know that if you know how to run your social media, right? If you know how to get a buzz on social media, running your mouth and get people to, care about what you're saying, and you say certain shit, your name is going to get bigger, right? This is how you build yourself as a boxer in 2024. They know that you don't necessarily have to show it in the ring. If you can talk it and you can make people believe the shit, even though when they see you fight, they're seeing something opposite from what you're saying. You struggling with C- level opponents. But who is the best fighter to place your name with that people will actually believe some shit? Shakur. Because even if they really don't believe it, they can pretend like they believe it on social media because he is the most hated fighter out of any fighter, right? And they know that Shakur is going to entertain the shit. Shakur going to clap back. So I don't have a problem with what Floyd Schofield and his pops is doing to build themselves and make a bigger name for themselves, right? Because I understand what they're doing. I understand that shit all fake. I understand that they capping. I understand they're promoting themselves, right? I understand that this is how fighters promote themselves today. The problem I have is that we got a bunch of gullible motherfuckers that actually believe this shit, that actually follow boxing and follow the YouTube channels and follow what's going on in boxing, and y'all still fall for shit like this. When you see this shit go on constantly in boxing, he's just not on that level. And I would tell you the same thing about Keyshawn Davis. If I saw Keyshawn Davis fight, and I'm like, man, Keyshawn kind of trash. He's struggling with C- level opponents. But Keyshawn is a gold medalist, right? Keyshawn know he ain't gonna get no fight with Tank next. But I do believe that Keyshawn really believes that he can beat Tank Davis. Whether he can or he can't, I believe that Keyshawn believes everything that he's saying. And Keyshawn get in the ring and he's able to back up everything that he's saying by his performances, right? If you know boxing, you can see the skill set that Keyshawn Davis has. He's, like I said, he's an Olympic silver medalist. He has the accolades. Floyd Schofield, you see the exact opposite. You see him get in the ring and struggle against C- level opponents. He don't have the Olympic pedigree and the accolades. And he just don't show that he's that good of a fighter like that. So use your common sense. That's all I'm saying. Make sure y'all smash the like button. Y'all smash on the like button. Smash the like button for me. Let me see. Let me get through some of these comments. Yeah, Legacy, man. It's a lot of capping going on, man. My man Got It TV says, I like Shakur and I understand his style of fight, but most fans / all casual fans, most fans / all casual fans, and some real boxing fans just don't favor his style. They think it's boring, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Can any of us say that we never seen Shakur in a boring fight? I'll be lying if I told you that. The Edwin De Los Santos fight was boring. That shit was boring as hell. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't entertained by that shit. But at the end of the day, the bottom line is whoever it may be, when they get in the ring with him, can they beat him? Can you make him, are you good enough to make him fight your fight? See, whether you a boxer puncher, a slugger, or whatever you might call yourself, whatever you may be in the ring, right? An elite fighter that's levels above the rest can always make the opponent that they in the ring with fight their fight. It is what it is. If you understand boxing, you know this. You are, if it's a boxer that you say, okay, well, he just want to move and use the ring and box on the outside. If you really like that, you can make him fight your fight, right? If you a boxer and you say, okay, well, this motherfucker, he just like the slug, and he just got power, and he gonna rely on his power. That boxer can make that slugger or boxer puncher fight his fight if he's really like that. See what you seeing is a lot of boxing fans and a lot of fighters using these as excuses. At the end of the day, can you beat me? Can you beat me? It's different styles in boxing. Can your style beat my style? Straight up and down. When you go to BoxRec, it don't say, well, he's a slugger or he's a box. That shit, it don't say none of that. Did you win the fight or did you lose the fight? That's it. Can you beat me? What's good with it?
What up, everything boxing? I have a quick question.
What up?
So, what do you do? Do you like think Tank and I think Tank and Shakur will fight eventually, and I also think that if Schofield and Shakur fight, it'll be a good fight. What do you think about that?
Well, for as far as Tank and Shakur, I think that they gotta fight. Let me. You got me in the background. You got to cut off your background, so it's feedback.
Okay, how do I cut that off?
You probably got stand on your phone or something in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just X out of it.
The leaf thing.
The YouTube. I think you probably got it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, X out the YouTube in the background.
Okay.
Oh, he X'd out the whole thing. But to answer his question, I think Shakur and Tank, they gotta fight, like I said earlier. Like if they don't really, step on the gas with each other, it ain't no one-sided. Like I hear a lot of y'all, man, Tank don't gotta do, Tank don't know. Tank do gotta. Tank gotta fight these dudes now. All of that, we got a blueprint, we got a plan for Tank. All of that shit is out the window in 2025. It's past due time. So Tank got it and Shakur got it. They both got to step on the gas. Yo.
Yeah, it still wouldn't let me do it.
Yeah, you good now. Yeah. So let me just mute it while I'm talking. Hold on. Oh, my bad. I muted myself. My bad. I muted myself the whole time. So what I was saying is that so you didn't hear me. I'm gonna run that back. So I think that Shakur and Tank, they both got to be going at each other.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah, put yours on. Let me put yours on mute. Shakur and Tank, they both got to be going at each other, right? It can't be one-sided. Shakur got to be calling Tank out, and Tank got to be going at Shakur, because 2025, it's time. Like, it's time for both of them. It's time. So that's just how I feel about that. So that fight got to happen. Like, it can't be, 2026. If they both are healthy and they both get a fight in, that fight has to happen after they both get a fight in. That's how I feel about that. As far as Floyd Schofield and Shakur, I'm not interested in that fight. The reason I'm not interested in that fight, because it's not a competitive fight. Like, it's just not. Like, Floyd Schofield is Shakur's going to embarrass him, or he probably might even stop him. You know, I don't like that fight. And Shakur is not going to get credit for that fight. Like, I'm hearing people say that this is going to be the best opponent that Shakur has fought. That's fucking outrageous to think that Floyd Schofield, I heard a gang of people saying that shit. Floyd Schofield is nowhere near the best opponent that Shakur has fought, if they fought. Like, that is not even one of the best opponents. Like, Oscar Valdez is better than Floyd Schofield. Edwin De Los Santos is better than Floyd Schofield. Floyd Schofield is probably on the level of what's the name? What's the name of the dude that always be in tough fights but he lose? And Shakur was dating his sister. The dude that Shakur was dating his sister. Floyd Schofield is probably on the same level as him. What's his name? Somebody help me out with the name. Joet Gonzalez. Floyd Schofield is on the level of a Joet Gonzalez. So why the fuck do I want to see Shakur fight another Joet Gonzalez? I don't want to see that shit. And nobody is going to give him credit for that. Ain't nobody going to be like, man, he beats Floyd Schofield, man. Shakur proved that he really liked that, man. Even if he stopped Floyd Schofield. Ain't nobody going to be like, man, Shakur really liked that, man. He just stopped Floyd Schofield. Nobody is going to give him credit for fighting a Floyd Schofield, whether he stop him or just shut him out all 12 rounds. It's going to be a fight that people going to be like, well, he should have stopped him. Who the fuck did Floyd Schofield beat? Matter of fact, Floyd Schofield fought a C- level opponent and struggled. Like, I don't want to see that fight. I'd rather Shakur fight Joe Cordina than a Floyd Schofield. Like, real talk, I'd rather see him fight a Joe Cordina than a Floyd Schofield, because Floyd Schofield is not that. He's not. And I mean, yeah, it sounds good because him and his daddy make a lot of noise on the internet and they growing a name for themselves. But I honestly, watching Floyd Schofield inside of the ring, what have you seen? Can't nobody say that they seen Floyd Schofield and they're like, man, he's one of them ones. Like, this kid can really fight. I've been saying that shit for years. I'm like, man, this kid can't fight like that. He uses his head. He's wild. He's rough. Just because he got a fucking lot of muscles and he like, he's not good. Like, people try to compare him to Sean Porter, and to me, that's a like to me, to compare him to Sean Porter, like, that's clowning on Sean Porter. I'll be pissed off if I was Sean Porter. Like, I would take offense to that if I was Sean Porter, because yeah, Sean Porter was wild and rugged and shit at times, but Sean Porter had excellent footwork. And Sean Porter had a lot of levels to his game, and Floyd Schofield don't have that. He just a motherfucker that's a bulldoze you. He get hit with a lot of shots. He's wild. And he's not seasoned. He ain't like that. I think maybe he could he could get better. Maybe if he switched trainers and got a real trainer, it'd, take him about 3 years to really, polish his game. But right now, he's not. He ain't. He's not that. So I don't like to like. I don't want to see Shakur fight him. If Shakur, and that fight ain't gonna happen. That we wasting a bunch of time because that fight is not gonna happen. They're not gonna let that man get in the ring with Shakur. But I'm gonna let y'all cook on that. But after I cook on that, we're gonna talk about something that I do want to see. We're gonna talk about Shakur. We're gonna talk about Frank Martin. We're gonna talk about that boy Frank Martin and Edwin De Los Santos for Shakur Stevenson. So give me your, I'll let you chime in. I'll let Teach chime in, and then we're gonna move to that. You on mute.
For the Frank Martin situation or just in general?
No, just what I was just talking about.
Oh yeah. I agree with you on that. I mean, Schofield's a good kid. Like I've been telling everyone else, I haven't seen him really fight a really good opponent. And even when he did fight that opponent, he looked like he just didn't. I mean, obviously there's good qualities about him. No disrespect to the man, but it just looked like he got dropped by that opponent. And it looked like you said, he needs to switch trainers too. I just think like nothing wrong with a dad as a trainer, but it's just like maybe he needs to branch out somewhere else. Because like I said, having a dad as a trainer is cool. There's no disrespect to that. It's just I think if he wants to maximize his game, he needs to go to like another trainer that could like help him.
Right.
But
I agree with that 1,000%.
He's a good kid though. I mean, obviously, like you said, he fights wild, and when you fight wild, what do? You don't think with the you don't think, and you end up getting hurt.
Yeah, you can't fight like Floyd Schofield and go in there and compete with somebody like Tank and Shakur. It's not. You can't.
And especially when he called out Tank, he's not. If he called out Tank and he did that, he would get knocked out.
1,000%. Like Tank would knock him out with them. Depends on what Tank wants to do, but he'll knock him out within 5 rounds. And in 5 rounds, I'm pushing that. Like I said, that only depended on like how Tank wanted to go about it. Like if Tank wanted to just sit there and carry him for a little bit and laugh at him and just wait for him to walk into something, that's what he'll do. And 1,000% he'll get Tank will knock him out. And like I said, I think that if Shakur is healthy, Shakur might stop him too. Shakur probably stop him with a body shot or something, or beat him 12 rounds to 0 easily.
True.
But Teach, man, let me get your take on this.
What's up, ETB? I actually wanted to touch on everything overall. So, I mean, if you wanted to just continue with your points, you could continue, and then when you open it up, I'll just give my thoughts overall.
Okay. So, man, what I want to talk about right now is that, and this is something, I expressed to Shakur, like real talk. We've seen PBC fighters on a Turkey Al-Sheikh card. If you look at that card with Terrence Crawford, right? You had a few PBC fighters that was on that card. I also seen an interview with Turkey Al-Sheikh, and he says that him and Al Heyman was going to be working together in the future, right? So I'm looking at the fighters at 135, right? Obviously, Shakur Stevenson has been being ducked. And when I say being ducked, I'm not talking about Tank. I'm talking about all of the fighters that his name has been linked with that's a possible for him to fight, right? They're ducking him. The Williams Zepedas, just these dudes is ducking him. So I'm looking at Frank Martin. Him and Frank Martin was a fight that was supposed to happen. Frank Martin said he needed an extra little oomph. He didn't get his extra little oomph, so he pulled out the fight. Frank Martin, he's open. He's available. Shakur's looking for an opponent. They got history. I want to see Shakur go at Frank Martin's helmet, right? Shakur is on X all the time. He on X all the time. Start tagging Frank Martin. Start calling out Frank Martin. Y'all got unfinished business. That is a huge fight. I think that fight is way bigger than it was when they were actually gonna fight, because now Frank Martin, he got a much bigger name because he fought Tank, right? I think that if he goes out there and beats Frank Martin, that'll make the fight between him and Tank even bigger than it already is. Everybody gonna be wanting to see that fight. Everybody gonna be preparing it to, Tank and Frank. And I want the smoke. I think that he should be. You already see, like, Shakur should understand it. I think he know this. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no way he don't know this. That Williams Zepeda ain't fighting him. Floyd Schofield and his daddy, they pump faking, just to promote themselves. Who else he gonna fight? If it ain't Frank Martin and Edwin De Los Santos, y'all got history, right? Y'all got history with each other. Run that back. So I feel that Shakur Stevenson, first he should press on the gas and get to calling out Frank Martin, press Frank Martin, see if that can happen. If it can't happen, at least you made the effort to try to make it happen, right? At least you pressed the gas, got on his helmet, called him out, let the world know you tried to make it happen, right? And if that don't happen, press on Edwin De Los Santos. Get that rematch popping. Cause I don't think nobody will complain about that neither. I don't think nobody will complain about that. Either one of them fights. Those are big fights. Those are fights that I would much rather see than him getting in the fucking ring with a Floyd Schofield, because let's just keep it real. Floyd Schofield is not on the level of Frank Martin. Floyd Schofield is not on the level of Edwin De Los Santos. So, being the fight fan that I am, I like seeing the best fight the best. I don't want to see the best fight a motherfucker that's nowhere near being the best yet. Probably, in my opinion, he'll never be nowhere near being the best. So yeah, E.G., why would you tell him to fight Liam Parro at 140 when Liam Parro got a fight coming up in December against motherfucking Richardson Hitchens? That don't even make sense. So what you want Liam Parro to fight two motherfuckers in the same night? Or what we doing? But yeah, like those fights right there are solid fights for Shakur to be in. Like I said, my number one is Frank Martin. See if Frank Martin want to run it. Double back. It ain't gonna happen. If that don't happen, double back and see if you can get, Edwin De Los Santos to rematch you. And I also believe that, I know that Frank Martin, his promoters, Errol Spence, and EJ ain't gonna stop Frank Martin from making a bag. And we know that Turkey Al-Sheikh, he'll offer that bag. He'll offer that bag. So I think that Shakur should get with Eddie Hearn, get with Turkey, and see if, if they can get Frank Martin. And if they can't get Frank Martin, get Edwin De Los Santos, and that's what I like.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, everything you just said just makes sense. I mean, I like the fight too. For one, to me, it's still a high stake fight at 135, right? Because both guys are at the top of their game, in my opinion. Even if Frank went out the way he did, still a good fighter. It's a good, like, stylistic matchup, in my opinion. And I think in this fight, Frank Martin is going to open up more, just because, a lot of fighters feel like Shakur doesn't have power. So he's going to open up more and make this a good competitive fight. And to be frank, both guys, Shakur and Frank, I mean, they could use each other's name on their record, right? Those are good names to be a part of their record. And there is no promotional like roadblocks in this situation, right? Frank is with Spence. Spence could send him to Eddie if he wanted to and make that fight happen. Simple. Same thing that he was with.
It'll be because the February 22nd card is a Turkey Al Sheik card. So Turkey work with everybody.
Perfect. And that works out good too. You get paid more. And after coming off of Tank's payday, why not get another payday with this fight? Fighting on Riyadh season, right? So yeah, I mean Shakur should press Tank, get that fight. So still a good name. Agree with you 100%.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, man. Nico, man, what you got on that? You on mute? Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Frank Martin fight's good. You know, I mean, nothing wrong to Frank Martin. He just fought a good opponent that night, and it just didn't go his way. But I think since like people are saying Shakur isn't good, like what Teach said, if Shakur fights Frank Martin, and I love boxing, and I want the best to fight the best because that's what makes the sport fun. This is why we watch the sport. Pretty much, we watch the sport so we can see who's better and who's not, and we see. But I think the Frank Martin fight would be fun. You know, like Teach said, there's no promotional blocks that could get into it. So yeah, it would be fun. I would love to see that happen. It would be a good competitive fight.
Yeah, yeah, man. That's a like to me, that's a solid fight. And like you said, just because you lost the Tank, like because I just because you lost the Tank, that don't mean nothing, right? And I think Teach was saying, man, I also think that Frank would go into a Shakur fight different, right? Because he was scared. When he went into the Tank fight, he was scared because Tank got that power, right? You got that, like he had it in the back of his head, like, okay, if I get knocked out in front of all these people, right? And he had it in the back, like, what's his power feeling like with these 8-ounce gloves on? He got in there scared. Tank knew he was scared. He got intimidated throughout the whole, build up to the fight. And he got in there scared. He was timid, right? Got in there timid. I don't think he gonna get in there against Shakur like that, right? He might get in there worried that he not gonna be able to beat Shakur over 12 rounds, but I think he'll go in there and fight a more aggressive fight, right? Now, I don't think it's gonna pan out like he wanted to. I think that Shakur gonna beat his ass. You know what I'm saying? And surprise a lot of people because I think he's gonna make it look easier than a lot of people might think he will. But that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. It don't mean that it's not a good fight. It's a much better fight than the Floyd Schofield. And then if that don't happen, hey, everybody would love to see the Edwin De Los Santos fight again. Boring fight the first time. We know that Shakur Stevenson fought with that one hand. Okay, let's see what you could do with two hands against Edwin De Los Santos. Let's see what Edwin De Los Santos can do against you when he had been in the ring with you before. But one thing I don't see is the fans been calling for a rematch with Edwin De Los Santos. Edwin De Los Santos ain't called for a rematch against Shakur. Edwin De Los Santos, before he fought Shakur the first time, he was on Shakur helmet. Remember, he went to his neighborhood, called him out. He was, trolling them and all of that shit until he got the fight. But now that he fought him, Edwin De Los Santos ain't called for that rematch. But people don't want to report shit like that. They'll pretend like that ain't happening, right? They pretend like y'all ain't see that, right? Y'all don't notice that. But I like the fight. I would definitely like to see it again. right? Shakur, like I said, Shakur, he talked and he's saying that, you know, now the Edwin De Los Santos, like he always gave De Los Santos props. He says that Edwin is one of them ones for sure. But he's talking about, man, if he fought him with two hands, it'll be a whole different fight. So show me. I believe him, but I still gotta see it. So I don't have no problem with that fight. But a lot of people saying that Frank Martin, they thought that Frank Martin moved up to 140. Frank Martin has never announced that he's moving up to 140. We just assumed that because he looked like he was dying after he made weight for the Tank fight. Motherfucker looked like he came out the casket. Looked like he was a walking zombie. But Frank ain't never announced that he was moving up to 140 pounds. So as of right now, nobody knows what Frank is doing, but Frank has never fought at, well, I don't know if he fought at 140 early in his career, but Frank has been campaigning at 135. And I feel that if it's a big enough fight, like a Shakur, ain't no reason why Frank shouldn't fight at 135. Even, right, and I'm gonna say this, right? I'm gonna say this because I still feel that Shakur is the bigger name, done way more in the sport. But Frank Martin, he got a name too. So even if they fought at a catchweight, even if they fought at like 138 or let's see, 135, 137, they fought at like 137. I wouldn't have no problem with that. Shakur, you need a big name on your resume. You need a big fight. And Frank Martin, shit, how you gonna come back? Is you gonna bounce back fighting, you know, a bunch of lower level competition, or is you gonna come back with some real smoke? But yeah, we forgetting that Shakur is the blunt sports, man. I'm glad you reminded me of it because it's crazy, man, because I even forgot, right? All of this talking, and I forgot that shit because so many motherfuckers be ducking Shakur. I forgot he had the WBC strap. I'm forgetting that he the champion. He is the champion. I've never seen, besides Gary Russell Jr., I've never seen so many fighters duck a champion. Don't even want a shot at the title. So with that being said, yeah, man, I mean, hey, Frank Martin, this is an opportunity for Frank Martin. This you ain't never became you wasn't able to become a champion. This opportunity for you to become a champion. So yeah, like my man Blunt Sports said, we don't need no catch weight. Do you want to become a champion? Straight up and down.
Yeah, man. Like I really like the De Los Santos fight as well. And there is actually some unfinished business there to a lot of people, right? Because you know a lot of people were saying Shakur was running, he didn't want the smoke. So yeah, let's see the rematch. Let's see how it is when Shakur has both his hands, right? Again, De Los Santos is a good fighter. Um, Dude is bursty, has good power, good feints and all that. Um, but again, it's just going to turn out the same way because the first time De Los Santos was afraid to be countered, and with Shakur fully healed, with Shakur fully healed right now, he's going to be even more afraid to get countered. So bring it on. I like it.
I think that Edwin De Los Santos knows that also, because he like, man, motherfucker fought me with one hand and I couldn't beat him, right? How I'm gonna beat him if he healthy? Edwin De Los Santos know that, and Edwin De Los Santos said that Shakur was cracking. He got on. He was on um what's my man damn man he said he said they didn't want to really run into shit and get hit by shit from Shakur because he was actually cracking.
Yeah,
So they didn't want to get hit. So they was playing this cautious too. My man, god damn, man, what's my man platform?
Yeah, he was in Mill City.
Mill City, yeah, Mill City. Yeah, my man Mill City. Speaking of Kid Austin, look what we pull up. Kid Austin is on Fight Hype right now. I'm gonna get ready to wrap it up. So Kid Austin is on Fight Hype right now, capping, acting like him and his daddy on Fight Hype right now. I'm gonna tell you one thing about Kid Austin. They know how to promote themselves. They really know how to promote themselves. They do a good job promoting themselves because now these fighters, they don't give a fuck about lying. They don't give a fuck about doing no capping. They're going to do whatever they have to do to promote themselves. But it's 0% of me believe that they really want that Shakur fight. Ain't no way. But anyway, man, I'm going to wrap it up. Man. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure y'all hit the like button. If y'all still in the building, everybody that's still in the building, smash on that like button for me. Smash the like button. Man, y'all got any last words real quick before I wrap it up?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say if Floyd really wants to fight and Shakur really wants to fight, I have no issues. But nobody could really blame Sides of the Street in this fight because they're the one who called out Shakur. So they're the ones who have to make this fight happen if they really want it.
Yeah, I mean, I think Shakur is just at the point of where he like, man, F it. I just want to fight anybody. You know what I'm saying? That's available to give me a fight. I think that's the point he had. He like, fuck it. He was even talking about some George Kambosos. I definitely don't want to see that weak ass shit. But he just kind of at the point to where he just want to get in the ring and fight. So I understand. But Nico, man, you got any closing words?
Yeah. Definitely. I want to see the De Los Santos fight, and I appreciate you letting me in the stream. I love the sport. I do boxing. I love the sport, and I love watching your videos because we both have the same mindset. I just want to see good fighting again. I just want it to be back like the old days.
Oh man, no doubt, man. I appreciate you supporting the channel, man. Salute to you and Teach, man, for getting up here and giving your take, and salute to everybody. Salute to everybody that's in the chat. I appreciate everybody that came through, everybody that hit the like button, everybody that came through and supported in the super chat. I appreciate y'all, and y'all already know how I do. There you go, talking that boxing again, and I'm gone, y'all. I'm out.
Salute.